This video is going to look at how to control the risk of Legionella bacteria in commercial type spa pools. We've already covered an introduction to Legionella in a previous video, and what I'd recommend is taking a look at that video first before coming back to have a look at this video. But in terms of controlling the risk, what needs to be done first is a risk assessment, and what I'm going to go through in the rest of the video is some control measures that can be put in place. And when you do your risk assessment and you're looking at the control measures you've currently got in place, the further they deviate away from the control measures that I'm about to go through, the higher the level of risk there will be of Legionella colonising your system and then potentially leading to an outbreak. So do your risk assessment first. And then in terms of control measures, what you should be looking to do is look at the bather load. This is worked out a little bit differently to how it's worked out for swimming pools. So what you do is you take the volume of water that you've got in your spa pool and you multiply it by 10. So let's say you've got a spa pool with 5 cubic meters of water in there. So 5 times by 10 would give you 50. So that would basically be the number of people that could use the spa pool per hour. Not per day, it's per hour. So 50 people an hour could potentially use a spa pool that's got 5 cubic meters of water in it. But what goes with that is a bit of a caveat, in that what you should do when you're operating a commercial spa pool is operate it for 45 minutes and then leave it unused for 15 minutes. So you're basically, in that 15-minute period of time, you're letting the filtration and chemical treatment system recover and help to keep that water safe, clean and hygienic, rather than just continually using it all throughout the day. This is especially important for busy facilities where they might get that constant usage. The next thing to think about is the amount of dilution, the amount of fresh water coming in. And it's worked out in a similar sort of way. You look at the volume of water again, but this time you're timesing it by 100, and that gives you, in this instance, if we're talking about a spa pool that's got 5 cubic meters, 5 times 100 is 500. So after 500 bathers, you should have looked to have replaced the entire body of water with fresh. Another thing to look at when you're reviewing your risk assessment is the turnover time of the spa pool. It's a much quicker turnover time than it is for swimming pools. Just to recap on turnover, it's basically the amount of time it takes for a volume of water equivalent to your pool volume, in this case 5 meters, to make one circuit around the system. So from the spa pool through the pumps, filters, heat exchanger, injected with chemicals, and then back into the pool. What you're looking at for commercial spa pools is anywhere between 6 and 15 minutes. The busier the spa pool, the quicker the turnover time needs to be. The longer the turnover time, the more towards sort of stagnant your water is becoming. And you don't want that. You want to get that water through that filtration system to keep it clean, fresh, safe, hygienic, relatively anyway. With spa pools, what you need to do is test the chlorine and the pH levels every 2 hours, and that is even with an automatic controlled chemical dosing system. It's a 2-hour frequency, which is more frequent than swimming pools would typically do it, because things can change quite rapidly in a spa pool. Because of the low volume of water there, it really doesn't take much to get the chemical levels, out of whack. What you're looking for with your free chlorine is to maintain it between 3 and 5, much higher than swimming pools, and you want to keep your pH levels between 7 and 7.6. The lower the better, because chlorine works better at lower pH levels. What you're also going to be doing, if you want to operate a spa pool correctly, is an awful lot of cleaning, and it needs to be done on a frequent basis to keep on top of it. So what you've got on here on the screen now is taken from the Health and Safety Executives guidance on controlling the risk of Legionella in spa pools, which is, if you Google HSG 282, you'll be able to gain access to this document and download it as a PDF free of charge. But you're looking at a lot of these jobs are daily, so cleaning the water line, that's basically the scum line or the tide mark as it's sometimes known. That's going to be daily, every single day that needs to be done. The overflow channels where the water exits at the surface of the pool and it goes into an overflow channel around the perimeter, again they need to be lifted and cleaned thoroughly every single day. Cleaning the pool surround, again a daily job that would be. Backwashing the filter much more frequently than a pool would. Every single day the filters would need to be backwashed. Looking at inside the strainer baskets and removing any pollution that's built up in there, again that's a daily thing. What you should look to do as well is potentially for busy spa pools is completely drain the entire tank and clean everywhere, including the strainers, and that could be on a daily basis for busy commercial facilities, or if it's a quiet facility that could potentially be anywhere between daily and weekly, but that would need to be based on risk assessment. The balance tank, this is where the water, when it goes out of the overflow channel around the perimeter, so when the surface water exits and overflows into that drainage channel around the perimeter, it drains from there into a balance tank. That can be quite a vulnerable area for the build-up of biofilm, so that would need to be cleaned at least twice per year, but it may actually need much more frequent cleaning than that, in my opinion. I think a lot of commercial spa pools should be looking to drain that balance tank and clean it on a weekly basis, to be honest. Inspecting accessible pipework and jets and cleaning them as necessary, that's a weekly job. Disinfecting flexible hoses, because spa pools being what they are, there's going to be an awful lot of those hoses. They need to be done on a monthly basis. That's where you'd get the chlorine level, a concentrated level of chlorine up to sort of 100 parts per million, and then put that highly chlorinated water through those hoses to ensure that any Legionella bacteria that may be lurking are effectively killed. So there's a lot of cleaning to be done when you're operating a spa pool. It can't just be left and done on a sort of periodic ad hoc basis. If you're managing it properly, you need to have a proper schedule put in place, and you need to make sure that there's enough people to do it, and that they're given enough time to be able to do the tasks, because there is a lot of work to manage the risk, because it's essentially, when you think about it, a spa pool is a perfect environment potentially for Legionella bacteria to grow. It's got nutrition, it's got a perfect temperature, and what you do with it, you create an aerosol. So if there is any Legionella in that bacteria, you create a mist with it and you disperse that in the environment. You spread it and emanate it outwards. So cleaning is essential basically, and as I said, backwashing should be done every single day, but on top of that, the filter itself should be maintained on a much more frequent basis than a typical swimming pool filter would. So at least once a quarter it should be inspected. That's usually a job that's contracted out to a third party contractor that would do it as part of a service level agreement. Media, that's to say the sand in most commercial swimming pool filters, that should be replaced again much more frequently than a typical swimming pool would get its media replaced. It should be done annually for a spa pool. So every year the filter should be emptied of sand and replaced with new. And then finally, for this quick run through, what you should do is get the pool water in your spa pool. This doesn't apply to swimming pools, it applies specifically to spa pools. It should be sampled, a sample taken and then analysed for the presence or hopefully absence of Legionella bacteria at a UCAS accredited laboratory. Now if you've got levels of bacteria that are anywhere between sort of 0 and 100 colony forming units, that would indicate that the system is under control. This is 0 to 100 colony forming units per litre of water sampled. So 0 to 100 colony forming units, everything's okay. It confirms to you that the management system and the physical system as well is working effectively. If it goes above 100 colony forming units, there could potentially be an issue here. Anywhere between 100 and 1,000 colony forming units of bacteria per litre, what you need to do there is get a resample done to find out whether this is an isolated problem, or if the resample comes back and again indicates that you're between 100 and 1,000 colony forming units per litre, it points to an underlying sort of systemic problem with the way that spa pool is being managed. So what you need to do is look at your control measures and your risk assessment and find out what the problem is, remedy that problem, and then hopefully that brings the system under control, brings it back down to a level where the Legionella is below 100 colony forming units per litre. But what you would need to do is do another sample to confirm for yourself that your remedial actions that you've carried out have actually been effective. If you get a sample coming back from the laboratory and it's over 1,000 colony forming units per litre, well, now you've got a big problem. What you need to do is close that spa pool down immediately and get everybody out of that area. So shut the spa pool down, particularly the jets. You don't want to be emanating. You don't want to be emanating that aerosol out so that people can inhale it, or else you're going to cause an outbreak. What you do now is shock dose that spa pool with 50 milligrams per litre of free chlorine and circulate that round for an hour at least, making sure that it doesn't drop below 50 milligrams per litre. So you might need to keep topping it up. Neutralise the chlorine with sodium thiosulfate and then drain that pool down, clean and disinfect, scrub it. Review your control measures. What you want to find out is how you've ended up in a situation where you've got over 1,000 colony forming units of Legionella bacteria per litre. Something's clearly gone wrong. Find out what the problem is, identify remedial actions, refill and retest to make sure that you've cleared the problem, and then follow that up with another test 2 to 4 weeks afterwards, just to confirm that everything is still operating effectively. So those are the control measures that you need to put in place at a bare minimum, really. Like I say, if you haven't already watched the introduction to Legionella bacteria, do please watch that one, because that gives you a bit more background information on exactly what Legionella bacteria is and how it can be harmful.